As you can see, it's all hot indoors and stuff, man. It's July, you know what I'm saying? We've been having a heat wave, and from what I saw for next week, we're seeing a minimums of the 30s. Seeing 31, 31, 31, 31. So we're just gonna have to prepare for the heat, innit? It's minor. Because we've been having a winter, we've been having a rain. It's good to have some sun, some vitamin D and all that. Just to get a bit more smiles on people's faces. It might be sweaty and, for some people it might be a bit stinky, but I appreciate the summer. Not just because I was born in summer, but it's just like it feels more lively during the summertime. Winter time, people all indoors, getting cozy in the blankets, robes and stuff. Summer, we're enjoying life, you know what I mean? We're having a good time, sunlight, music, holidays, all these kind of things, man. It all happens in the summertime, not in the winter time. I'm always going to be a summer bandit. I'm a summer baby. You know what I'm saying? And to stay on topic in terms of summer, my birthday's on Friday, you know what I mean? Turned the right page, 22. I've been graduated for nearly a year now. I got my results around about this time last year. So I've been a year straight out of education. And, just the first year of fully being a man, fully dealing with man's own decisions, fully accepting responsibility for whatever it is that I do. And you know what I'm saying? It's been a rough ride. I'm not gonna lie to you. This year, especially the last 6 months, probably have been one of the worst periods. You know what I'm saying? But it's a forging period. It's a forging period because it's forging a man. Saying I can't be lax, I can't have this, you know, baby attitude. I'm gonna be 22, bro. What? I'm an older sibling. I can't have this lax attitude thinking, someone's gonna come and save me. Nobody is gonna save me apart from myself. You know what I'm saying? I've learned one of the things that I've learned, and it's something that I've been taking into consideration, is to not be afraid to show my character. Felt like I've, people have noticed that man's been coming out of my show. You know what I mean? Before I was a person that was very secluded, very reclusive, someone that kept their cards close to their chest. You know what I'm saying? And while that's good in some certain avenues of life, doesn't allow people to fully know who you are, and doesn't allow people to fully make a connection with you as a person. And that's something I've been struggling with because I was such a closed book. People found it very hard to make connections with me. So I've always been a person that's very reclusive. I've had a low amount of friends, but even like associates is not a person thing I've been doing because you know I never used to speak. I never used to express myself the way I do now. But I felt like that's really not how life goes. You know what I'm saying? You can be quiet and still express yourself, but it's about expressing yourself to who you're with. It's about showing your character, showing who you are. If people don't know who you are, people won't be able to relate with you and you know fight. Because to fight with someone, you got to know their flaws in order to protect them. And if nobody knows your flaws, they can't protect you when they go and get stuff. They can't really be your friends because they don't know who you are inside and outside. Because I felt in this year of understanding that I had to really express my character more, get out there and show people who I am. I'm saying that's not meaning go out there, go crazy. Some of these social media people just been doing anything for some clout and that, because that's never who I am and never who I will be. But it's just about, you know, being a person for the people more. I'm not saying I'll fake it and just, you know, be friends with absolutely everyone. That's still not the case for man. I don't really like doing the buddy thing just because. I'd rather be silent and by myself and secluded than have 100 million friends. Like I said this before, that it's not something by force, but to live through life, you must make relationships. You must, you know, meet people. You must share experiences. That's how we live and we learn. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like, I've been happy expressing myself more. Like, I've been happy just showing off my personality more. I feel like people have been surprised that this is who I am. When in reality, to some extent, this has always been who I am. I just haven't shown it. You know what I'm saying? But no, like I said, we live and we learn, and yeah, and even through being yourself, you have to understand that people that people pleasing attitude isn't going on anywhere. I was very on wanting everybody's thoughts and opinions, but that don't matter to me no more. You know what I'm saying? And I've said this before. So what? So what? I'm now very comfortable with expressing my opinions, even if other people may not agree with said opinions. Like for example, and this is not even that serious, but like when England were playing Congo, I was supporting Congo. Yo, everyone else was supporting England. I was there supporting Congo, fam. England have been poor. I'm gonna not, if I don't want to support a team, I'm not gonna support it. I'm not gonna be pushed by peer pressure into supporting a team when I don't want to support it. You know what I'm saying? And that's just an example. There's very so many examples where I felt comfortable to just express my opinions. Obviously, there's times where you do have to close your mouth because expressing your opinion might lead you to more trouble than it's worth. You know what I'm saying? I've seen there's so many examples of where I mean it's not wrong to fight for said opinion if said opinion is the truth, but you also have to understand what the responsibilities you have towards certain people. You know what I mean? If you're a freedom fighter or person that has nothing to lose, it's easier for you to say your opinion because you know what I mean. There's you ain't got people to look after and this, that, and the third. When you got a lot of responsibilities and everything is run by you, it's much harder to say what you actually believe in for fear of being cancelled, for fear of doing this, that, and losing everything, and now having to start from scratch. So while you have to have some sort of integrity in your day to day life, and that's something I do try and push, and do try and focus on. Also got to be wary of how to fight and whether some fights are actually bigger than you. Obviously, it doesn't that I'm not trying to say don't fight because if we didn't have certain fighters for certain causes, we wouldn't be able to we wouldn't be able to survive. Like certain people like Harriet Tubman, you know what I'm saying? MLK, Malcolm X, you know what I'm saying? All these people that have inspired us in different ways. Like Muhammad Ali, all these people, Rosa Parks. Without any of these people that fought and sacrificed their lives, we wouldn't be able to be comfortable. You know, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you have there's meant to be a strategy in how you fight towards for integrity in certain causes that I don't think many of us have the tact to. We're very rash and we're very, emotional in the way we do things is when it's not meant to be that way. Leaders that we had of the past were as much as they were emotional and cared for the cause, they were also very strategic. And that's why they somewhat succeeded in their fight. Whereas most of us right now are just based on emotion and just doing anything. And that's why I don't think we achieve as much as we should have because we're all in the moment fighting and not actually doing things behind the scenes to actually, you know, impact the cause, which is what I thought I need to do my research on and learn and do myself because I do fall foul of that certain behavior of okay, making noise about certain scenarios, but you know, most of the work is done behind closed doors. You know what I'm saying? Most of the work is done behind closed doors. Can't say, oh, I'm fighting for black people, but behind closed doors you're not doing nothing. And all you're doing is making noise on social media. Social media isn't where laws are changed, isn't where the big discussions are taking place. Big discussions that take place with the important people behind the scenes. You need to make yourself known behind the scenes. You need to be doing stuff behind the scenes. That's something that I feel that in this next chapter of life is something that I'll definitely be focusing on a bit more. You know what I'm saying? With more understanding that I'm grasping, obviously, with more understanding, with more responsibility, I feel that, yeah, I feel that, like I said, strategy does help. And going back to it, it's always important to have your own opinions and not be stuck by peer pressure. I don't think I've been a person that's been pushed by peer pressure. I feel like maybe towards my later teens, um, late late secondary school, sixth form was when I was very pushed by societal pressures and just peer pressure in general. That's because I was finding myself. That was when I was finding myself fully. Like I was becoming the new person, the person that I've I am becoming now. This form of NJ that's where it started. And then finding myself, you do hear voices of, oh, this is what you gotta do, this is what you gotta do, this ain't cool, this is cool. Start doing things just because, and you think you're going along the right path, then things just go smash, and then now you're 10 steps behind everybody else. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happens when you follow peer pressure. You don't follow your journey, you're following other people's journeys, thinking that's the same journey you're meant to follow, and then now you're crashing, and then they're still ahead with their journey because that's what's written for them. That's not what was written for you. So you're trying to use someone else's story to blow up more time. You got your own story that you need to follow, and you're breaking the rules. You're surprised that you're taking a tumble. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's got their rule book, everyone's got their stories, everyone's got their playbook to follow. You can't jump on another man's story and thinking, yeah, because my man's doing this. Is it working for me? If it's not working for you, jump out of that story and create your own. Because otherwise, what you're going to do is now waste time. I mean, not necessarily waste time because every lesson is something you can learn from, but you're going to be behind other people. As much as we like to say life is not a rat race, it is. It's every man for themselves, bro. As much as you like to think, oh, your parents are gonna do it, no, they're not. As much as you're gonna think your girlfriend, your wife's gonna do it, no, they're not. No, they're not. Your siblings, they're not. That's what I'm saying. We think that all these relationships are not transactional, and like the only I'd say untransactional relationship that is possible is your relationship with God, because He created you. You don't need nothing from you apart that whether you worship Him or not, He's still gonna be God. It's for your benefit that you worship Him. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be God and your parents. And your parents, they might, I don't know, there's probably certain times where it gets to a point where your parents won't back you anymore with certain scenarios. When you're a murderer, you know what I'm saying? When you do certain things, then your parents won't support you no more. All these other relationships, your siblings, your girls, having relationships as well, it's a thing where people don't realize that it's transactional. And it's something we need to be realistic on. It's transactional, bro. But just because it's transactional doesn't make it bad. We all extract value from each other. Even your friends, you extract value from them at one point in time. I need your advice for certain things. I might need your help on certain things. I might need you just to have a chat and just to make a smile. It's still transactional. I'm not thinking, oh, your relationship with the two people who love each other, there's still going to be transactional. Uh, I want you to look after me. In return, I want you to do certain things around the house. It's not bad to have transactional relationships. That's how it's always been, and that's how it always will be. But we're so in in here trying to overthink everything that now relationships where things clearly work out, we're both you're both doing your own thing, and you're still helping each other out. Looks bad because, oh, this brother can do it himself. Why are you cooking and cleaning? Why are you cooking for him? Why are you cleaning for him? He can do it himself. Like, if you weren't there, he still have to do it himself. I mean, no, then. Just like, for example, if a man weren't paying the bills, you still had to pay it. But, you know what I'm saying? Because the person loves you, they're looking after you. They're providing for you in a sense. We're all here talking about transactional. Bro, every relationship that we have, or 95% of the relationships we have in this planet are transactional. But it's not a problem. But social media wants to make you think, this man is bad because he's providing, but he's expecting a certain thing. We all expect things from each other. What are we doing here? What are you doing? The man will be at work for 13 hours and the mom might be at home. Forget mom, they probably don't even have a baby, bro. It's just you two. And now, because the man's vexed that ain't got food on the table, everyone's up in uproar. Like, what are we doing? That don't make no sense. Like, what are we doing here, man? We could talk about feminism and patriarchy and misogynism and misandry. We gotta just start thinking with our brain more, man. Stop being emotional all the time. God gave us a brain to use. God gave us logic to use. Every relationship is transactional. I say you might say you love the person, but at some point you expect something from them. That's just how it works. You know what I'm saying? From my point of view, I want to be in a place that when I get married, I do want to look after um my wife. You know what I'm saying? I'm 22 now. I don't think I'm jumping into a relationship or for any time soon. I did say 25. You don't know what's around the corner. I'll be honest. You don't know what's around the corner. But I do want to be in a position where I can say, yo, if you want to work, you can. If you don't want to work, that's cool. But I got. It. You see what I'm saying? I've got it. If you want to work, that's cool. If you don't want to work, that's also fine. Because I'm not in the business of, you know, taking away people's independence. That don't make sense. We gotta treat each other with respect. Just because I'm the husband, I'm the man of the house now, I gotta be there doing that Genghis Khan endeavors. No, no, because some people think that marriage is a power trip. Now, the man of the house, whatever I say goes, and now the woman doesn't have an opinion, and there she's just there locked up, bro. Just say no, we're not doing all that. Nah, nah, that's not how it works. If you love each other, you wouldn't be doing all this, you know, trying to be the man and saying, whatever I say goes. That means you don't show love, bro. You don't. It doesn't mean it means you don't. You're not showing no love by doing that to a woman. And I feel like from looking at all these relationships that I see around social media or just in real life or what I'm heard or you know what I'm saying, stories that I've heard, bro, you learn from that, bro. You learn. And I'm a person that wants to study as much as I can before I even jump to that. I want to be ready before I even do that. You know what I'm saying? People want to be jumping and saying, "No, I want to get married just so I can avoid all the, you know, outside of marriage stuff." But are you actually ready to take care of a woman, bro? Or are you actually ready to be with a man? All here trying to get married so you can do the doing things that, bro, that's not the only thing. The marriage, a wedding, the nikah, you know what I'm saying? The the bedroom, that's not all there is to it, bro. There's other stuff. Are you gonna be ready for that? If you're not, you just need to keep working until you are. And you're not gonna be 100% ready, but you have to be somewhat ready. And I don't feel that many people are actually ready. Like, how many times have I heard stories of divorces, people get married for a week and then divorcing, like, because they're not ready. They haven't checked their compatibility. They're rushing saying, "Oh, you got to get married. You got here at 25 or you're here at 30. You're thinking the time's going. So you just marry the first person that you see. The more time, the first person that you see is an evil piece of shit. And now you're there thinking, I've wasted time with this person. Just because what you're 30, 35 means now you get married. No. And we like to say, just because you're divorced doesn't mean the rest of your life is ruined. We, cultural issues have made it so that a woman that's been divorced is now impure, but a man that's been divorced is fine. That's what's happening. And the thing is, most of the time, divorces do happen because there comes a time where people aren't compatible anymore. It happens. You know what I'm saying? Not everything has to be perfect. Not everything's a forever love thing. But some of them can be avoided. Not need to rush to be married. Like, it's not a thing where if it doesn't happen to you, you're gonna. It's something that you're gonna die or you've missed something completely. You can still live without being married. Obviously, it's a benefit. I'm not saying I'm never gonna get married. No, I definitely want to be married, 100%. I definitely want to have children, 100%. But I don't want to bring my children up without being able to look after them to an extent. We learn from them, not mistakes, but we learn from the lives that we lived. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to look to pay my children's uni fees, so they don't have to take out student loan. I want to be able to give them money to buy the first car, the first house. You know, I want to be able to indulge them in like after school activities. I can't do that if I'm rushing into marriage and then rushing into having a child. Because when they grow up, they're gonna be like, "Oh, my dad did this, but he didn't do that." I don't want it. I don't want that to happen. I want them to grow up having a best, most comfortable, what's it called? The most comfortable childhood they could have. Obviously, there's gonna be twists and turns. Their child ain't gonna be perfect. Allahu alam. You know what it is. You know how it is, bro. Life never is never perfect. You're gonna go through twists and turns. But at the end of the day, it's all about preparing ourselves and making sure we're not rushing ourselves and making dumb decisions. It's not by force. And that's why I gave that arbitrary age of 25. Because obviously 25 is when my frontal lobe will start to develop. I don't know if it started to develop already, but God knows. But for like about 25, it's given me enough time to somewhat make a name for myself. So put some money behind my name, you know. I won't be fully established by the time I turn 25, inshallah. If I get there, inshallah. May Allah give us the best life and everything. But by then, alhamdulillah, inshallah, I'll probably have something. That's enough to be like, yo, can't lie, this is what I have. If you're compatible with me, we can work. You know what I'm saying? That I don't, but for now, I don't mind being in I don't mind being in solitude. I don't mind being in solitude. I don't mind working on myself, being by myself. And like I said, like when you get older, you realize, yeah, that unless you found someone, this game isn't for you, bro. I realized from very young, even before I jumped into all this relationship stuff. You know what I'm saying? Even before all that, this game thing isn't worth it, bro. It's a headache, no less. You're playing with women's emotions too. And like, what do you achieve from it? You get your rocks in, and then what? It's more like an addiction. You're saying people that drink alcohol or gamble or take drugs or smoke, they do the wrong thing. But it's this also addiction. Hedonism is also an addiction. It's a hidden addiction that people, just because it's cool to have so many goals, it's not treated as an addiction when it is. Your life just becomes stunting for goals. Now you forget the rest of forget about everything else. Forget about making money. Forget about your purpose. Forget about your family. What you're doing is chasing goals. Every decision is for it. Just every decision behind it. The thought is, yo, can I get into the bed tonight and do my thing, or does is she thinking about me? That's all it is. And very quickly I realized, and every single story I hear just confirms it for me. It's the game's not a game. The game's not a game. You know what I'm saying? Forget. I'll get to what you're doing to people in a second, but it's like it's a waste of time, man. You're wasting money. You're wasting days. You're wasting time. Wasting energy. For what? What do you achieve? Yeah, I can't lie. My phone, I just had to delete certain things from my phone because it's getting full up. But like I was saying, let me try to remember what I was saying. But yeah, like it's just waste of time, energy. It's just, yeah, what's there to gain? Also, when it comes to like playing with the other gender as well, I'm because we like to say, men be playing with women. Women do be playing with men as well. You know what I'm saying? And why is it comfortable for you to do that? We're talking about, people give reasons of, other people do it, so I should be doing it. Does the person that you do it to deserve what you're doing it to? That's what I'm saying. It's all this like hedonism and the player game and the game of relationships never makes sense to me because we're all using past traumas to now establish our future relationships. So now we're going in a circle of hurting people, now hurt people, hurt other people, and now it's all just a mess. What are we doing it for? It never makes sense to me. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, for what we see more, and I'm not saying it don't happen the other side, but for what we see more, we're like we're messing up people's lives and that, bro. Messing up people's lives. People can't eat, can't drink, can't sleep because what you done as a person. You're comfy saying, "Oh, let me get my rocks in and all that." Nah, man. Nah, man. That's not my life, bro. That's not my story. That's not my story, man. I've been raised better than that. And we've all been raised better than that. I'm saying it's not just a me thing, it's not just the you thing, it's everybody that that lives life, we've been raised better than that, man, to be messing around with other people, bro. So why that player game never even made made no sense to me, bro. And it's not something that I indulge in. Now, maybe once upon a time when I was younger and didn't know no better, I was enticed. I didn't fully dip both legs in. And I'm happy I didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not a game that you want to be playing. There's nothing to gain from that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, bro, like at this age, like, it's all about indulging in knowledge. That's what it is. It's just indulging in lessons, just learning, bro. I'm happy that I got I got people around me that I can learn from, bro. That will tell me the right from wrong. I don't want to be given, yes, 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 bro. I don't want to hear that, bro. If I wanted to hear that, I'd go on social media and grab friends, man. I'm not in the business of, you know, just being said yes to you. I'd rather hear the real. It might be difficult at the time, and I might be pissed at you, but I'd rather hear the real because I know what angle to approach the problem from next. I've been saying yes, yes, me continue to make mistakes, and now I'm looking like a fool in public, bro. That's one thing I don't like, being made into a fool. I don't like it. Don't mind being embarrassed, but being made into a fool is a different problem. And if you know the difference, you know the difference. There's being embarrassed and there's being made into a fool. Those are two different things. I'm not comfortable in to be made a fool. So if I do something wrong, I'd rather know so I can approach it differently and get move along with the rest of my life, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, man. Well, I, I'm meant to start talking about the lessons that I learned, but to be fair, that I did talk about the lessons that I learned. I just delved into one specific lesson too much, but it gave me a topic to delve into. It gave me a topic to talk about for quite a while, and you know what I'm saying? It is important. Now let's talk about the important topics and topics that everyone needs to understand and focus on and improve on, because it's something that everyone needs to improve on. It's something that everyone needs to hit. Everyone needs to take heed on, because it is messing a lot of people's lives, both the perpetrator and the victim. You know what I'm saying? Now we're all focused on the wrong things, man. And by doing that, we're all reducing our potential as a result. Like we're all reducing our potential to focus on the wrong people and the wrong things. We're always giving hope to that certain person, thinking, nah, one day they might like me, man. Nah, man, they don't. Not even from a like thing. It's just in terms of respect. If they respected you, they would let you know, but they don't want to. So they don't like you, man. They don't respect you. Even not respecting you is even worse. So move on and do your thing, man. What are you doing here? Yeah, but alhamdulillah, God give us some more life, more blessings, these things. You know what I'm saying? Happy to see another year around the sun. Happy to meet new people, dispose of the old. Say dispose is a harsh word, but learn from lessons with people that I don't really chat to no more. I'm happy to that I've met new people. I'm saying I've somewhat found my purpose and I'm still finding even more about my purpose. I'm saying I'm making steps. But yeah, man. Slowly, slowly. 22nd year, this is my 22nd year of life approaching to an end. And I'm gonna be in my Jordan year. You know what I'm saying? So if that just means that it's just banger after banger after banger. I gotta do my boy Michael Jordan some justice. You know what I'm saying? I can't do him wrong. It is what it is. But yeah, man. Um, it is what it is. I should wrap it up. I don't know why I'm just delaying things. And I do need to reduce my iPhone storage, bro. The next phone I'm getting at least a 256, bro. I don't know why I got a 128 with this. This 128 don't do no that, bro. You install a couple of apps, and now the phone's full. Like now, I got to cut this off in a minute because otherwise, this thing's gonna have an abrupt ending. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know what? Let me cut it here. So now I can solve this story issue. You know what I'm saying? So we're NJ, aka TZP, aka Heavy Duty, aka Headliner, HG Squared. Until next week, you know, I'm appreciative of those of you that listen and learn. Till next time, peace.